Hi, my friends. So I've been doing a lot of emotional energy clearing, I guess you would say, only because I've been wanting to write my book. So as I've been writing, I've been having to deal with more emotional issues, traumas, I guess you would say, that I haven't dealt with in 15 plus years. And so today I had a very interesting experience where I was watching Teal Swan. She just put out a video about healing the body, through thought. And I don't tend to watch a lot of her videos, but I saw it and I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this. And so the way she described it, she was talking about emotional traumas and how emotional traumas are pretty much just manifestations of, or excuse me, issues in the body, physical ailments. These are my words, just kind of what I interpreted from what she said. Physical ailments are manifestations of thought form, which I'm like, duh, of course, absolutely, everyone knows that. Well, not everybody knows that, but it's, at least I believe that. I truly believe. And so she said, now the way to heal that, and I was like, okay, this is the interesting part, this is the meat and potatoes, is to communicate and channel that pain or issue in your body. Channel it, because it will communicate with you, and listen for what it tells you, and listen for the answer. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. I've been dealing with this hip issue for the last 11 years now, and I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a try. I love trying this stuff. And so I closed my eyes after I watched the video. She did it with with somebody, and it was pretty interesting, the woman's experience that she was with. So I closed my eyes, I breathed just like I usually do in meditation, and I consciously focused on my right hip, and I visualized just being I just was the hip. I let go and listened. And so I started getting these thoughts coming into my brain, into my mind. I started receiving these thought forms, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna video this, or I'm gonna listen to myself. So I put it on the voice memo on my phone and just started listening, and just was talking, and just wanted to hear what the answers would be. And so as I was talking about this and just feeling the hip, embodying the hip, I immediately saw this vision of it broken down and kind of dark and black, which freaked me out a little bit, but I was like, just go with it. And then I started feeling that if my hip was, because my hip is an energetic, conscious entity, Oh, Caesar's dog fight. He's fence fighting out there. So I wanted to interpret what my body was telling me, this physical manifestation, this energetic container. I wanted to hear what it was telling me. And so it started saying things like, I don't truly feel supported. Oh, he's really fence fighting. He's going for it. And then things like, I'm tired of holding on. I'm tired of being strong. I'm tired of, just these weird, I just want to collapse and let go. I just want to, all these weird, and I was just saying them. And sure as shit, what my hip looks like, if I can't post a video here because I don't have one anymore, I deleted it, but my hip bone is collapsed. My femoral head should look like a ball, and instead it's flattened and it's half the size that it should be. So my hip has collapsed. My hip has stopped supporting my frame, my upper body. And so I asked my hip, or I embodied my hip, and it was almost like I was questioning my hip, so it was kind of like two different people. And I said, well, what is it that you need? And it just responded with, I need support. I need to feel supported. And for me, it's not things that I haven't already known, but it was fascinating that I was able to understand what my body was trying to tell me for the last 11 years. Because when this happened to my hip, I was coming out of all my treatment with 5 years of treatment of chemo, radiation, chemo pills, steroid pills, this medication, that medication, this antiviral, this antifungal, this antibacterial, just tons and tons and tons of medication. And I felt like, even though my parents and my family were supporting me, I didn't feel supported by the grand scheme in the universe. I didn't feel supported by God. Consciously, I didn't feel supported by God, because every time that I started to pray and get more spiritual in my life up to that point, here comes Caesar, he's back, he's done fighting now. Every time I had prayed in my life and gotten more spiritual, bad shit happened. And so I always felt like, even though I prayed and I read the Bible, and I was, found myself always drawn to Jesus and, spiritualism in general, every time I got more spiritual, I became more spiritual, worse shit kept happening. And which led me to the law of attraction, The Secret, which changed my thought processes on a lot of spirituality and things. And but as a Christian in my youth, I always wanted to ask for support and put it and just hope that I would be supported. Does that make sense? Rather than demand support or command support or fully believe that I don't have to earn my salvation, so to speak. I don't have to earn the good that is in my life. That is my divine inheritance as an extension of spirit, as an extension of God, as a child of divinity. I am entitled. My inheritance spiritually, my spiritual entitlement is all the good that is in the world. That belongs to me. Every single bit of it. I don't have to fight to earn the good that I deserve. But as a young boy, as a young man, I always felt that I had to fight to earn my healing. I had to fight to earn my goodness. I had to fight to earn every ounce. And so, as I stopped fighting to earn my inheritance, my body started to heal itself. As I started to embody the fact that each and every one of us are the creators of this experience, and life's not happening to us, life is responding to us. So I started to realize that it's not happening to me, it's responding to me. It's a response based on the energy that I'm putting out, based on the thoughts that I'm putting out, based on the beliefs that I'm putting out, based on the emotions that I'm putting out. All these things correlate into the response, the echo that I get back, the mirror that shows me who I am right now in this moment. And so, I just wanted to hopefully inspire you guys to do the same thing. Our bodies are just an energy container, if you will. This body is an entertainer. It's an entertainer. Maybe that's what entertainers are. They're energy containers. What? Say what? Anyways, so it's an energy container. It is a physical representation, a physical manifestation of what is happening in here and what is happening in here. And not only my thoughts, but the belief patterns that I'm holding to. And then these ailments that we have in our bodies become thought forms attached with an emotion. Because they're a thought form, they're still thinking consciousness. There's still consciousness within every cell. So these cells, just like a human being that has consistent issues, the cell has repetitive trauma that they keep experiencing. And just like the DNA of human beings, that cell keeps replicating. And if it's never healed, because we don't listen to it and we never talk to it and communicate with it like it is a actual physical manifestation, like it's a child that has experienced a trauma, can never heal from it. If the child keeps telling us that they have this issue at school, or they have this issue with homework, and they don't understand this, and they don't understand that, and we just keep trying to say, oh, don't worry about it, and kind of brushing it over in the spiritual community, in the New Age community, in the Law of Attraction community, it's like, distract yourself and just focus over there and distract yourself. And I'm guilty of it because I've done it my whole life, the last 11 years, practicing the Law of Attraction and teaching the Law of Attraction. But I'm recognizing now that we have to nurture our ailments and not get stuck on them. This is the main issue. We experience an ailment and we get stuck there and we keep focusing on the problem. We have the problem and we keep focusing on the problem, but we never allow the solution. So it's like, okay, I've got this trauma now. Now I understand that I didn't feel supported. Now I understand that I just want to, this hip just wanted to collapse because it was tired of supporting all the energy that I was holding on to. It was worn out and I wanted to run away from my issues. I just wanted to get away and I felt stuck. And then my hip started to hurt and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And what the fuck is wrong with it now? The hip is collapsed. It's stuck in the joint. It doesn't move very well. All these things that are just energetic holding patterns in my body that I never nurtured. I just try to cover up and try to visualize it being healthy and visualize it being healthy and visualize it being healthy. Instead of nurturing it, accepting it, embodying it, understanding it, and then allowing it to heal. That's the trick to this whole healing shtick. Nurture your wound, but don't get stuck on it. Accept that it's there and talk to it, communicate with it like it's a true human being, like it's actual consciousness, like you're talking to something. And once you talk to that, it'll respond back to you. Quiet your mind. Go in and just become the injury. Whatever it is, if you have an issue with your skin, if you have an issue with your breathing or your chest or your heart, or I don't know, it could be all these issues that we've got all these issues. Each one, go in, become. Bruce Lee says, become the cup. Put water in the cup, it becomes the cup. No, become the injury, become the issue. When you accept it and you understand it, then you can heal it. Because you can let it go. You can talk to it. You can communicate with it. Just like a child who's hurting. How would you talk to your kids? Oh, I'm sorry, so-and-so. I understand they're being mean to you, but you're worthy. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're funny. How would you pretend that your injury is a child? Is a wound that is childlike? Because a lot of our emotional traumas come from childhood. Sometimes you might even get an image of how old you are. You might feel like you're 12 again, or 10, or 15. I was 15. I was 19 when this happened. 19. I was a 19-year-old trying to be a 50-year-old. So, that was a lot of venting, a lot of ranting, but I just wanted to share my experience, and hopefully you can do the same. If you have questions, let me know. I'd love to love to talk to you guys and help you out. But because I find this so fascinating that it's more than just a representation. The manifestation is more than just a representation. It's an actual conscious wound that still is stuck. And that's why it hasn't healed. And if we just try to brush over the surface and, oh no, I'm going to manifest, I'm going to visualize, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to visualize, and it's going to be healed. You know how long I've been visualizing my hip to be healed? 11 years. Granted, it's much better than it used to be. It's much better than it used to be, but it's still not back to full health where it should be. And so hopefully in the next few months, with my, going into it, we can heal it, and then I can give you guys an update. But that's my story. So feel the injury, feel the trauma, feel whatever it is. Even if it's not a trauma and you don't realize that consciously it's a trauma, you're going to go in and your knee that's not stopped hurting in 10 years, you're going to go there and something is going to represent, you're going to feel a certain way by going there. If you have skin issues, if you have anything, go there. Feel it, become it, communicate with it once you understand it, and remind it that you're here now, that you're no longer that person, that you're safe, that I'm supported now. I know I'm supported by God. I know I'm supported by an army of archangels, especially Archangel Michael. I'm surrounded by my uncle and my grandma and all these spiritual forces. I can feel it. I got the tingles on my spine right now because I know that I am supported. I know that I have the embodiment of divinity flowing through me at all times, and I just need to quiet down and listen to that. I can feel that now. But my body might not know that, and it doesn't. So now it's my journey to communicate with it and remind it that we're here now. That's your journey too. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. This is a long one, but I appreciate it. I ranted and raved. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.